need to find for that to be an effective adjustment? Upper cervical lateral flexion. I mean, there's 10 other ways to do it. I mean, if you felt that in a pediatric patient, you could even use an activation. So, or like you have this diversified move where you can lever the leg up like this. You have guys know the move I'm talking about, modified prone, whatever the hell it is. So, if I do this, and we all have frustration with that move. Why? Because one time you set it up and you just blew it up and cavitated, you found the person that needed unilateral sacral nutation. That's why it was so effective. And everyone else you set that adjustment on, it's like setting up on a rubber band. There was no end range there. Alright, so two things. One, they might not have needed that adjustment. The other thing was, you didn't have it to enough end range, right? So you just had it like here. And again, if you want to get effective, you got to be an absolute wrecking ball at that area.
The audience, I see many Cleveland students. God bless you for being here. And there are students from the other colleges too, so I hope I get a chance to meet you. I'm going to stay around for a few moments. And I see Dr. Terry Yoder, and I see Dr. Corey Campbell, and they were my students. I remember when we met them in trimester 1, I taught the foundations for chiropractic. You have philosophy.
Systematic is a way to repetitively create redundancy throughout your day. So that at the end of the day, you're selfishly better as a palpator than you were at the beginning of the day. And we talked about palpation ad nauseum this weekend, and there's a reason why. Because this is the onion that has limitless layers to it. And so the more you palpate, the more you're like, God, there's a lot to this. And unfortunately, I can't give you 18 years of experience palpating, or 20 years if you count the school, which I wish I would have done more of when I was in school, but it's not a cool thing. It doesn't make any sounds, that kind of thing. But now, like, I'm kind of fascinated by the depth of palpation. And so, what's the big knock on palpation? It's not intra-rater reliable, right? You look at the evidence-based pages and they yell and scream about dog whistles and whatever. It's a skill, and you can train any skill. The problem is nobody wants to take the time to be good at it. That's Carol Levitt's quote. That's the problem with palpation. And part of the reason is because we don't necessarily have good systems. Mark has a system, Sarah has a system, Lindsay has a system, I have a system. And I think early on you should have a system that's very inclusive and very redundant. Because it's just going to make you better. And then after 10 years, you're allowed to take shortcuts like Brett and I did. But until then, I think you should really dive into this systematic approach to palpation. And create your own system if you want to. I don't care. I'm a simple farm boy from western Nebraska. I break things down into positions because that's just how my brain works. And it's efficient, and I can create a lot of repetitions throughout my day that I don't have to like look off a sheet of to remember. I can just go through these things. So this is my system. I'm going to show you kind of the way I create repetition and redundancy. One, it forces me to check areas of the spine and extremities that I might not check. And two, selfishly, it makes me way better. If I have two palpations telling me that the thoracolumbar junction doesn't move an extension, I can go back and localize, but I'm pretty confident I'm going to get accomplished with the manipulation what I want to get accomplished. Because I have two different things or three different things telling me this area needs extension. So then I just go to my little mental Rolodex of extension moves and pick the one that best fits my patient, not what I like to do. Okay, so here we go. And this is on our YouTube channel. You can find it on the MPI YouTube channel. It's out there. We actually did it in Cleveland here and used it. I don't know who uses it for, but we used it for something. And so it's very professionally done. It was a good job by Cleveland, again, supporting us. Very grateful for that. So we just do the seated scan. So I start with my SI joint sagittal, SI joint frontal. Extension of the lumbosacral spine, flexion of the lumbosacral spine. This takes about less than 2 minutes of practice. Left SI joint sagittal plane, left SI joint frontal plane. Scan the spine. Rescan the cervical thoracic junction, back down. I check the right first rib. Mark's going to teach that today. Or Lindsay, somebody. Lindsay will do a better job. Left first rib. Upper cervical spine, upper cervical spine. Lay your back here for me. Midfoot, dorsiflexion. Subtalar joint eversion. Midfoot, dorsiflexion. Subtalar joint eversion. Proximal fibular head. Proximal fibular head. SI joint again. SI joint again. Posterior capsule. First rib again. First rib again. Upper cervical spine again. Upper cervical spine. Posterior capsule. Go face down for me. Counter nutation here. It's a little hard to get low there. Anterior hip capsule. Anterior hip capsule, not a great palpation because it's not end range. Coming to the Sphinx. Thoracolumbar spine again. Extension, nutation, sacrum again. Face down. Subtalar joint again. Check dorsiflexion restrictions of the musculature of the soleus and gastroc. Subtalar joint, dorsiflexion restrictions of the musculature of gastroc soleus. Then your side here for me. SI joint again. Lumbosacral spine, thoracolumbar junction, lumbar spine, extension, flexion. Lateral bending rotation. Cervical thoracic junction again. Extension, lateral bending, rotation. And I can check the other side for the other SI joint. So what that does, takes about a minute and 50 seconds. Time it. What that does is it forces me to check things throughout the chain. It creates redundancy. I can go back and localize. Go on your back here. Like I know for a fact that this is going to work well, and this left first rib is a mess. And so it helps me like target those main areas of restriction. Thanks. One shoe's over there, one shoe's over here. I'm just gonna leave you with a few things. This weekend, I am extremely humbled and grateful by the amount of talent and experience and humility in the room and skill. Bruce Weary, Terry taught me. Like there's a generational thing going on in here. One of my best friends, Rennie, was here. We had numerous sessions outside of school to get where we are today. And it's very humbling to have 40 some years of practice with Bruce and he still is passionate about it. Like that is the coolest thing that I think I'm going to take away from this weekend. That and having my mentor Terry here and Mark and these guys that I've learned so much from and still continue to lean on as part of my community, my tribe, and my mentorship group. And so, Bruce, thank you so much for all of your insight and passion. I love it. So everybody, give Bruce a round of applause. So I would leave you with this. The sun and the moon have, all kinds of connotations and powers, but they're also two hands of a clock. And they are constantly ticking. And every moment counts. And so that second counted, the next second counts. What you learned here this weekend, these moments count. In every moment you have a chance to learn, you have a chance to struggle. I pray that you fail often. That's awful, right?
You're trying.
Right. I hope you fail and get knocked down 1,000 times and get up 1,001 times. Because there's two recurring themes in all of life, and that's struggle and progress. And without struggle, there's no progress. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easier. Not easy, but easier. And so, I pray that you guys cherish the moments, in every moment find something to learn from, so I find something to struggle with, and find something to appreciate. And if you do that in every single moment and live in the now, you'll be a beacon of leadership that people will feel that you don't have to outwardly yell. And we have enough arrow slinging in our profession and inward fighting. We don't need that. We need positive leadership right now. We need people that will lead by example and by moment to moment. And so, I hope that this weekend gives you some inspiration, some motivation. Just realize that motivation does not last. It's an emotion. Discipline will carry you through the hard times. Discipline will get you to where you want to be. Because you don't get what you want in life. You get what you deserve. And so earn it. Earn the sunlight. Earn the nighttime. Strive satisfied. Fail often, but fail forward. And I hope for you that you struggle, and I hope that you fall down, and I hope that life throws you some bad curveballs, and you respond to those in a positive way, and you bring other people with you, and they see what you've done, and you inspire them to do what you've done. And so, two most important days of your life: the day you were born, and the moment you figure out why. So figure out your why, and your whys will change. I'm leaving early because my why is part of those four amazing humans that have a ranking system in my house. And that's part of my why right now. They're very important to me. Obnoxiously so if you follow me on Facebook. I apologize. I'm a proud dad. So, with that, guys, I hope that you put your shoes far underneath the bed tonight, so when you have to get up in the morning, you have to hit your knees. And I hope you give thanks for what you already have, what you already deserve, what you've already worked for that maybe you haven't seen yet, and that those things come to you through your constant grinding, constant kindness, constant compassion, and in every moment you can find some grit, some grace, some gratitude. I'm humbled, I am blessed, and I am thankful for you guys this weekend. Have a great rest of your time. Enjoy the rest of the instructors. Thank you so much.